Good evening, everybody. I'm apologize for not being live tonight. I'm just way too tired and it was a crazy busy day, but I'm still going to give you guys a video because so much has been going on. It was Easter weekend. It's unbelievable what just happened. I mean, it's crazy, but we're going to cover a couple things here. All that's going on in the White House, which is pretty amazing stuff. The Pope's death, which is wild. Klaus Schwab stepping down. And then some incredible stuff going on in the financial sector. So stay tuned, and I'm going to go through all this stuff over the next few minutes.
Easter Sunday, we celebrate his glorious resurrection and proclaim, as Christians have done for nearly 2,000 years, he is risen. Through the pain and sacrifice of Jesus on the cross, we saw God's boundless love and devotion to all humanity. And in that moment of his resurrection, history was forever changed with the promise of everlasting life. As we approach this joyous Easter Sunday, I want to wish Christians everywhere a happy and beautiful and blessed holiday. America is a nation of believers. We need God. We want God. And with his help, we will make our nation stronger, safer, greater, and more prosperous, and much more united than ever before. Thank you to everyone, and have a really happy Easter. Easter Sunday, we celebrate his glorious resurrection.
I just want to start by thanking President Trump and this incredible administration for just bringing Jesus and our morals and our traditions and, yes, Christianity back into the White House and into our nation. It is needed more than ever. We were on the precipice, and it is just so fantastic to have it back. And this trend is just spreading. It's huge. I mean, yesterday, American Idol did a 3-hour special devoted only to worship songs. Carrie Underwood pushed it for it. And it's amazing that ABC, owned by Disney, allowed this to happen. So if you don't think there's a cultural change, look at this. I mean, this is something that hasn't happened. Gosh, I can't remember how long, but when I was growing up in the 80s and 90s, this was a regular occurrence. It was cool to be of the faith, and it's so good to see it coming back. So this Easter, just so grateful and so amazed by what's going on. And it just made me, and I hope you guys all too had a wonderful weekend and took the time to reflect on all that's going on in the world and the good that's happening despite the craziness. But the fight's still going on. Don't get me wrong, but it's very clear our culture is making a major shift, and it's so beautiful to see. And just don't forget, like, this is what we almost had, where, I mean, well, just listen to her.
Oh, you guys are at the wrong rally.
At the wrong rally. We've done this rich.
No, I think you meant to go to the smaller one down the street.
Don't forget that's what we averted. I mean, it's so important. So yesterday, we, despite all the craziness with the Pope and everything, and J.D. Vance being the last person to see the Pope alive as a visitor, Trump posts this, which is very interesting. It says, the golden rule of negotiating success: he who has the gold makes the rules. Why would you say that if you don't have the gold? That's what I'm thinking. So Trump's got some up his sleeve, and he seems so not worried by what's going on in the economy. And so I know they have a plan. I fully believe in that plan. I think Bissett, Lutnick, together with Trump, they've all planned something amazing for this economy. And it makes me wonder, how far is he going to take this? Can we get back to a gold standard? I mean, that would be very difficult to do. You're going to have to get it through Congress, most likely. But he's been attacking Powell, demeaning the Fed, which is good. But again, taking down the Fed's going to take a lot more energy, and also has to be an act of Congress. So there's a lot to be done here. But it is interesting that he seems so so confident, and we still haven't heard anything about Fort Knox and odd on Fort Knox. I hope that's coming soon, because right now, I mean, look at the way gold is spiking. Last time we saw something like this was 1980, right before the interest rates peaked at 18%. Well, interest rates are nowhere near that right now, and gold just soared past 3,400 an ounce today. It's insane. I mean, if you bought gold 2-3 years ago, you've almost doubled your holdings. It's unbelievable what's happening. And so if we find out we have the gold, I mean, with these prices, get out of here. So I don't know what Trump's got up his sleeve. I don't know if he's just being coy. I doubt it. I think Trump usually puts these things out because he's got some, but just pay attention and be ready. But if nothing else, I think you should have confidence that Trump knows what he's doing with what's going on in the economy, even with the tariffs and everything. So yesterday, the Pope died late last night. Some places are calling it 421. I'm guessing it just depends where you are in the world. It must have been pretty close to midnight for them to be different reports here and there. But this is interesting, post by Jordan Sather. He says, Pope Francis, who I was not a fan of, I think Pope Francis was one of the worst public leaders of faith in the world, if not the worst. He, in my opinion, and I'm not, you guys know me, not a hyper-religious guy, but I think the best way to describe him was he was trying to promote a liberal version of Christianity that rewrites a lot of scripture, a woke Christianity, so to speak. And it was pathetic. And even most Catholics were at the point where they didn't like what he was doing. But this is very interesting. And you guys know what I think about the Vatican. We've talked about that before. But he writes, Pope Francis died 420 at age 88. Coincidence, as 420 is Hitler's birthday. Nazis use 88 as code for Heil Hitler. The Vatican has a history of assisting Nazis. Also coincidence, Pope Francis died on Easter, where many Christians celebrate their belief of Jesus' resurrection. There have long been theories painting satanic influence around the Vatican. Francis' death is peculiar. It really is. And there are no coincidences, even with somebody's death. I just don't believe in that. I believe, especially when it's a public figure like this. God has a hand in it. And I'm not even saying God killed him, but I am saying that his life passed on at a very interesting date. And he was old and mostly died of old age and sickness. And his time came at the right time. And I believe there's something to the timing. I really do. Whether it was, like I said, I'm not going to get too much into the theological aspect of why I don't think God killed him. But I could say that even though I don't think God killed him, I think God allowed his life to finally run out on this day. And to make a point, I mean, it's incredible. You can't believe the kind of, like, the timing this would take to figure out, to make him die on Easter when he's been wasting away for months now. It's unreal. It's unreal. And also the year 2025, the first year of Trump back, and also Easter is on 420 this year, which has a whole lot of historical significance. Obviously Hitler's birthday, it was Earth Day at one point. 420 is celebrated by the pothead. It's been manipulated to mean stuff that's not necessarily great, but it's almost like a redemption, like 420 this year was Easter, the most holy day on the Christian calendar. And also the Pope, who was not leading the church down the right path, pass away on Easter. It's wild. It's wild. I'm going to be working through this one for a little bit, meditating on it and thinking it through, doing more research. But it's also very interesting that J.D. Vance was in Rome to visit the Pope yesterday, and then he passed several hours later. Very interesting stuff. And then you couldn't time this more. I mean, it's incredible. This weekend, so much happened. There was a shift, a spiritual, atmospheric shift happened this weekend. Trump's out there declaring Jesus he's talking about bringing religion back to America, how much we need it, how much we need Jesus. You have Hegseth out there, like so much of his cabinet is Christian. They're worshiping at the White House. They're worshiping on TV. American Idol, one of the biggest shows on TV, 3 hours of worship. And then you have the Pope dying. And then you have Klaus Schwab stepping down 2 years early. I mean, I'm telling you, nothing is coincidental. Klaus Schwab announced he changed his mind, is now stepping down immediately. Strange, considering just a few weeks ago they said the transition was expected to be complete by January 2027. Who else thinks this change after the Pope being announced dead is not coincidence? And here's a headline: World Economic Forum. Klaus Schwab, chairman of the board of trustees, World Economic Forum, has informed the board, following my recent announcement as I enter my 88th year. I'm also 88, same age as the Pope. I just noticed that. That's crazy. Decided to step down for the position chair, member of board of trustees with immediate effect. I mean, insane. Just insane. You can't make this stuff up. So the World Economic Forum will be under new leadership. This stuff's crazy, folks. It's crazy. And then Trump, right after this is happening, I mean, Trump posts this: the world will not be destroyed by those who do evil, but rather by those who watch them without doing anything to stop them. There's so much going on that the mainstream media is not paying attention to. The Democrats, at least the most voter Democrats, aren't paying attention to. The politicians know. Why do you think they hate him so much? Evil is being taken out behind the scenes. And for all you who say, nothing's happening, where's the arrests? Are you kidding me? Look at what's happening. You cannot make up what happened this weekend. All right, next, good news for the markets and for those of us fighting for retail investors in the markets. But Paul Atkins finally sworn in today. It's about flipping time. It was confirmed over a week ago. He finally gets in. He says, as I return to the SEC, I'm pleased to join my fellow commissioners and the agency's dedicated professionals to advance its mission to facilitate capital formation, maintain fair, orderly, efficient markets, and protect investors. There it is. Protect investors. Together we'll work to ensure the U.S. is the best and most secure place in the world to invest and do business. So he's in place. He's in place. Are we finally going to see something? I truly hope so and believe something's got to be coming. And speaking of something coming, G-Bucks did something huge today. They announced their dividend is official. So they've announced a warrant dividend, which is huge. It will trap the shorts. Again, it doesn't mean anything's guaranteed, but it does mean their job of fighting it down just got harder. Says the board of directors has confirmed dividend will consist of warrants issued on a 1-for-10 basis, granting shareholders the right to purchase 1 share of Gibbox common stock for every 10 shares owned. So there, you're going to have the option to add another 10% to your account for free. Each warrant exercisable at $4 a share, subject to terms conditions outlined. Warrants will be issued to shareholders of record at the close of business. This has got to be a mistake. I mean, business already closed. So this, I imagine, and Ham believes it too, May 15th will be the record date. So you got till May 15th to get your holdings up. This is a big deal. I mean, G-Buck's been moving fast. They got those 2 deals in place. They are not diluting. In fact, the opposite. They've been retiring shares, and now they've listed a dividend. So I love that we found this little stock that is trying to fight back, and hopefully this means a really good day tomorrow. Last couple things I wanted to share here. So a story came out today that says millennials, which is my generation, I was born in 83, earn 20% less than baby boomers did at their age, adjusted for inflation and cost of living. That's a crazy fact. We're the first generation in history to doing worse than the generation before us. So just a little factoid to remind you guys of how hard things have been. But I do believe Trump's going to turn around, and we're all going to see a breakthrough eventually. This massive poll came out today that's just scaring the left. It says women R+4 among 18 to 21 is a nightmare is just beginning tier for the left. So Gen Z has been polled, and younger Gen Z is extremely conservative. women across all races in 18 to 21, which this is big because 18 to 21 is the college years. They're not through with college yet, but they're in college now. And yet they're still maintaining women being Republican. The older Gen Z, out of college, men are still slightly Republican and the women way Democrat. So something has shifted, and this generation, being raised under Trump's second term, their first voting election, is extremely right. And as we know, as you grow, you usually only get more Republican. So this tells us the future, folks, is very bright for the country getting rid of the woke disease, the Marxist leftist disease. So many reasons to be hopeful looking ahead. Finally, Bam will be with me tomorrow night. I'm going to be interviewing him live here on my show at 9 p.m. So excited to have him. And I'm going to be asking him all sorts of questions about the economy right now and stock market, so on and so forth. He's just brilliant. And he posted this today. Yes, I work directly with the DJT team, provide video evidence of illegal stock manipulation of DJT, and post this challenge to President Trump days before the recent filing by TMTG. And what we have now is we move towards May, June's potential movement of truth. Will the Trump administration kick off the controlled demolition in order to fix our financial system while simultaneously transferring wealth back in the right hands? Be a delicate dance, requires finesse. Timing couldn't be better. Your move, Mr. President. So again, Bam will be with me tomorrow. I'm very excited to have him back. And he's got so much incredible insight to share. All right, guys, I apologize again for missing my live show tonight. I know you guys understand. I hope this is enough. I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. Members Live will still be Wednesday, and then I'll be back again with a regular live show public on Thursday. God bless you all. Hope you had an amazing Easter, and I will see you all tomorrow night. Take care.